Hello YouTube, my name is Bigboysnacksjonnytv. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And tonight I will be going over my WWE Raw review on high. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content down below, wrestling content on the channel because I'm on the road to 9K and the path to YouTube partner. Follow my social media down below in the description, as you can tell by the title of the thumbnail. And go check out my AEW Dynasty review on highlights that I posted on the channel yesterday. All right, without further ado, let's get started. Now, WWE Raw was a boring show, but there are two things I like about Raw: the Jey Uso segment and the ending of Monday Night Raw. All right, WWE Raw was live from Minneapolis, Minnesota Target Center. Commentary tonight were Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. Then now forever together, the WWE video leads us into the show. We see a shot of Allegiant Stadium, which will host WrestleMania 41 in 12 days. Pre-show arrivals. World Heavyweight Champion Gunther walks into the Target Center smiling after his vicious beating of Jimmy Uso last week. The New Day is in attendance. They will be looking for their 12th Tag Team Championship. um, World Tag Team Champions, the Viking Raiders, are arriving. The Judgment Day is shown walking together. Dirty Dominic Mysterio will battle Penta. Paul Heyman is shown walking on his walk. I'm sorry, Paul Heyman is shown talking on his phone. Video package. Last week on Raw, Bianca Belair was the special guest referee in the Women's World Championship match with Rhea Ripley against against Women's World Champion Io Sky. Bianca Belair got hit a few times. Rhea Ripley had Io Sky pinned for a long time, but Bianca Belair was down. After being continually hit, Bianca Belair called the match off. Rhea Ripley left Io Sky and Bianca Belair down in the ring. Io Sky and Bianca Belair are currently set to battle at WrestleMania 41. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce addresses the Women's World Championship situation heading into WrestleMania 41. Now I ain't got much to say about this promo because I already knew. If you guys didn't see my WWE WrestleMania 41 preview and prediction video, go watch it. Go watch my WWE WrestleMania 41 preview and predictions. All right. I ain't got nothing to say about this segment because I already been knew about this. I already been knew that we're gonna get a triple threat match. All right. It says Raw General Manager Adam Pearce is in the ring with the Women's World Champion in the podium. Adam Pearce welcomes everyone to Monday Night Raw. It's time to get down to business. We all saw what happened last week revolving around the Women's World Championship. The situation at WrestleMania 41 needs to be addressed. Adam Pearce introduced the Women's World Champion Io Sky. Io Sky makes her entrance and shakes hands with Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce then introduced Io Sky's WrestleMania 41 opponent. Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair makes her entrance and gets in the ring. Adam Pearce then introduces Rhea Ripley and incorrectly says she is representing the Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley has not been part of the Judgment Day since Dirty Dominic Mysterio turned on her last year at SummerSlam. Rhea Ripley makes her entrance and gets in the ring. Adam Pearce thanks the three women for joining him. Adam Pearce takes responsibility for what happened last week. He was wrong to put Bianca Belair in the position as referee because he assumed the three of them could handle this like professionals. There is a way to right the wrong. At WrestleMania 41, Io Sky will defend the Women's World Championship against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match. Adam Pearce produced a contract and asked for three signatures. I already been knew this. Bianca Belair says a few weeks ago this would have pissed her off because she earned her way to WrestleMania 41. They told her to win the Elimination Chamber, and she did that. They told her to be a special guest referee, and she did that. She did it all through blood, sweat, and tears. Rhea Ripley thinks she can just walk in, do whatever she wants to and gets added to the match. Bianca Belair doesn't care because she knows Rhea Ripley isn't going anywhere. She's happy Rhea Ripley is being added to the match. She's not afraid of Rhea Ripley. She went through the Elimination Chamber and watched two of her closest friends tear each other apart, and she still overcame. A Rhea Ripley champ picks up. Bianca Belair she says she's going to win the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania 41, and we'll go through Rhea Ripley and gets it. Bianca Belair signs the contract. Bianca Belair, Bianca Belair is not lying about this one. Everything that she said in this segment, I gotta believe in Bianca Belair. So Bianca Belair is not lying about this one. Rhea Ripley begins to talk, but Bianca Belair tells her to shut up. Bianca Belair shoves the contract into Rhea Ripley and says she's already got what she wants. Rhea Ripley picks up the contract and signs it. Rhea Ripley throws the contract at Bianca Belair and she catches it. Io Sky starts to talk, but Rhea Ripley shoves her out of the way. Io Sky throws the microphone down, angrily goes to leave the ring. Adam Pearce stops her and steps between Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Io Sky then hits a springboard missile dropkick on Rhea Ripley, knocking her into Bianca Belair. That was stiff. Io Sky signs the contract, grabs her title, and leaves the ring. They disrespecting Io Sky, man. That's the part I do not like. Why they gotta disrespect Io Sky? Now that lets me further know that Io Sky is going to retain the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania 41. Now don't get me wrong, I love Rhea Ripley just like I love Bianca Belair, just like I love Io Sky. But in my opinion, Io Sky is going to have to retain the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania 41. All right, the triple threat match the triple threat match for the women's world title was seen a mile away for weeks, but they finally made it official. That massive dropkick Io Sky gave to Rhea Ripley was stiff as you know what. That looked great. This should be an excellent match, which is I agree. All right, video package. Last Monday on Raw, Finn Balor and Dirty Dominic Mysterio defeated the WWE Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker and Penta. Braun Breaker and Penta. Braun Breaker accidentally speared Penta, leading to the loss. It is official. Braun Breaker will defend the WWE Intercontinental Championship against Finn Balor, Penta, and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. But can you imagine Penta getting that Intercontinental Championship? I can't even imagine. All right, the Judgment Day Clubhouse. Finn Balor is shocked that Dirty Dominic Mysterio was added to be in the Continental Championship match at WrestleMania 41. Dominic Mysterio is decided. The WWE Tag Team Champions, Liv Morgan says she got Dominic Mysterio added to the match. Either way, they win the title if one of them wins. Finn Balor says it'll be time for Dominic Mysterio to prove he has what it takes to win at WrestleMania 41. People say Dominic Mysterio isn't tough enough and doesn't have the killer instinct. They say Dominic Mysterio is a loser. Finn Balor says Dominic Mysterio can prove them wrong by beating Penta all by himself. Dominic Mysterio looks a little worried. Carlito says he has Dominic Mysterio's back. Carlito then says he went to the Mall of America. All right, backstage segment. Bayley is walking backstage. She'll battle Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship next. So we go to commercial break. So we get the first match, Women's Intercontinental Championship match, Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. This was a good match, but that pin looked it clean by Lyra Valkyria, even though that she slipped out a Bayley submission. But this match was good. The bell rings. They go back. They go for a lockup, but can't grab each other. They do a little chain wrestling before Lyra Cura hits a snapmare. The crowd starts dueling chant from the women. Bayley hooks a side headlock. Lyra Cura whips her off and goes for a monkey flip, but Bayley puts the brakes on. Bayley rolls her up for a 2 count. They circle the ring, and Lyra Cura takes her down with a drop toe hold. Bayley quickly rebounds and rolls her up for another 2 count. Bayley turns her. Bayley blocks a kick and knees Lyra Cura in the face. Bayley goes for a sunset flip bomb into the corner, but Lyra Cura stays standing. Lyra Cura rolls her up for a 2 count. Lyra Cura hits some strikes, followed by a Northern Light suplex for a 2 count. Bayley reverses a whip to the corner, but Lyra Cura slingshots her over. Lyra Cura takes her down and applies a pendulum submission. Lyra Cura drops her and pins her for a 2 count. Lyra Cura soon sends her into the ropes for a spin kick, but Bayley avoids it. Lyra Cura manages to send her out of the ring and hits a reckoning ball drop kick. Lyra Cura sends her back into the ring and heads to the top rope for a flying crossbody block for a 2 count. So we go to commercial break. We return from the break to see Bayley applying a single leg crab. Lyra Kira turns around and kicks Bayley away. They trade forearm shots before Bayley sends her to the apron and snaps her off the middle rope. Lyra falls to the floor. Bayley exits the ring and charges, sliding through the turnbuckle to hit a knee to the face. Bayley gets in the ring and charges for a suicide dive, but she crashes and burns when Lyra moves. Lyra gets in the ring and charges for a suicide dive, but Bayley catches her and hits Bayley to belly on the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Both women barely beat the 10 count. Bayley leaves Lyra and goes for a slam, but Lyra counters with the arm drag. Lyra hits an insecurity followed by a gut wrench sit out powerbomb for a 2 count. Lyra goes to lift her, but Bayley fights out. Lyra cuts her off with a knee and goes for Nightwing, but Bayley slides off. Bayley knees her in the face for a near fall. Bayley gets up and places Lyra on the top rope. The crowd is starting to buzz for the match. Lyra fights out with a superplex and drops down for a powerbomb attempt. Lyra back gives out, so she drops Bayley. Bayley takes advantage of the situation to hit a sunset flip bomb into the turnbuckles. Bayley kicks Lyra back, but Lyra fights back and hits a tornado DDT. Lyra then rolls through and hits a fisherman suplex 1-2. Bayley kicks out. Lyra goes to the top rope for a Mr. Dropkick, but Bayley picks her out of midair and applies a Boston Crab. Lyra screams in pain and crawls to the bottom rope, but Bayley pulls her into the center of the ring. The crowd is cheering. Lyra grabs the ankle so Bayley let the hold go and attempts a rose plant. Lyra rolls out of it and hits Bayley with a jackknife pin for the win. The winner by pinfall is still your women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra. This was a good match. Alright. Lyra celebrates with the women's Intercontinental Champion. She goes to shake Bayley's hand, but Bayley slaps her hand away and goes to leave. Bayley then stops and gets back in the ring to hug Lyra. Bayley holds Lyra's arm up. They will team together on SmackDown for a shot at the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania 41. Now I can see Bayley turning heel on SmackDown. I can already see it coming. Michael Cole desperately wanted to use his voice to make the women's IC title match better than it was, but unfortunately the screen was on and I saw the whole thing. It was a good, even very good match. Don't get me wrong, but not the instant classic Michael Cole scream. It was. All right, let's move on. Backstage interview. Captain Kelly is backstage with Brett Crusher, but Chad Gable and American may interrupt. Chad Gable says he's a fan of Crusher. Crusher must be a fan of his because he's here to see Minneapolis, Minnesota only shining stars. Still, he get to see his boys. The Creed Brothers team with El Grande Americo to take on the LWO. Crusher says he's not here for American Made. Alpha Academy walks in, and Otis and Crusher both rip their shirts off. Gable and American Made walks off in disgust. So we go to commercial break. Rey Mysterio is walking with the LWO backstage. They'll battle American Made and El Grande Americano. That's coming up next. So we go to commercial break. AJ Styles will battle Logan Paul at WrestleMania 41, and I hope AJ Styles will beat Logan Paul. That's all I gotta say at WrestleMania 41. I do not like Logan Paul, but I do like AJ Styles because he's phenomenal. Backstage interview. Jackie Redmond is backstage with AJ Styles. She says Logan Paul had a lot of audacity last week, where his head at AJ Styles says he's in a good headspace right now. He can embrace Logan Paul on the grandest stage of them all because you cannot be experienced. Karen Cross walks up to him with Scarlett. Karen Cross asks where experience got him last week. they can't have this AJ Styles. AJ Styles asked him what his obsession is, the old AJ Styles. AJ Styles will talk to Adam Pearce and give Karen Cross a taste next week. AJ Styles walks off. Scarlett says they got AJ Styles again. Karen Cross agrees. All right, replay 2 weeks. So 2 weeks ago on Raw, El Grande Americo defeated Dragon Lee by ripping his mask off. Alright, so we get a 6-man tag team match. The LWO Dragon Lee, Joaquin Wilde, and Cross Del Toro, accompanied by Rey Mysterio, versus American Made Brutus and Julius Creed, and Agredo El Grande Americo, accompanied by Avi 9. And this 6-man tag team match, this was a really wow. This was a fun tag team match. Brutus Creed will start against Cross Del Toro. Dragon Lee yells at Brutus. Brutus takes Del Toro down and applies a hammerlock. Del Toro gets out with a snapmare, but Brutus soon runs him over with a shoulder tackle. Julius Creed tags in, but Del Toro hits an arm drag. Joaquin Wilde tags in. Joaquin Wilde and Del Toro takes Julius down before Del Toro helps Joaquin Wilde splash Julius for a 2 count. Joaquin Wilde hits a spinning head scissors takeover, followed by an armbar attempt. American Made runs in, but the LWO cuts them off. The LWO gets back and forth with a splashes on all three men. The LWO stand tall in the ring. They hit American Made and Agredo El Grande Americano with stereo triple somersault senton. Dragon Lee gets them in the ring. The LWO heads to the top rope, but American Made cuts them off. They hit the LWO with 3 almost stereo superplex. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, Julius takes Dragon Lee down and attacks his partner. Julius Creed to the top rope, but Dragon Lee knocks him into a trio rope and hits a double stomp. Brutus and Del Toro tags in. Del Toro hits a springboard crossbody block before knocking Americano off the apron. Del Toro takes Brutus down before hitting Julius with the Hurricanrana. Del Toro kicks Brutus in the face and hits a twisted slam. Del Toro rips his shirt off and hits Brutus with a rolling senton, followed by a suicide dive on Julius. Americano tags and rolls Del Toro up with a handful of ties for a 2 count. Dragon Lee tags in. Dragon Lee gets Americano Chad Gable in a powerbomb position. Del Toro dives, but Americano counters sort of in a Spanish fly out of midair. That was a nasty landing. Dragon Lee yells at Americano for rip off his mask. Dragon Lee kicks Americano in the face and hits a sit-out powerbomb. Julius then crushes Dragon Lee with a shooting star press. Julius lands on Dragon Lee's knee. Dragon Lee holds his leg in pain, while then uses the back of Del Toro and Julius as a step to hit Brutus with a wild somersault senton to the floor. Del Toro clotheslines Julius over the top rope and hits him with a corkscrew plancher to the floor. Albinine hands Americano an object that he puts under his mask. Rey Mysterio appears to have seen this and yells at Americano. Americano headbutts the legendary luchador in the face. Dragon Lee attacks Americano and rips his mask, but Americano headbutts him with the loaded mask, knocking him to the canvas. Americano follows up with the flying headbutt for the win. The winner of the match, America May and El Grande Americano. This was a fun 6-man tag team match. Rey Mysterio looks on in disgust as American May celebrates with Chad Gable. El Grande Americano. A really wild 6-man tag team match with El Grande Americano and American May going over the LWO last week. No, not last week. The last few minutes were quite good. Could we actually get Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano? Hashtag WrestleMania. Hashtag WWE Raw. All right, let's move on. Video package last week on Raw. Raw Heavyweight Champion Gunther beat Jimmy Uso in a bloody pulp and his butter. Main event Jey Uso was zip tied to the middle rope. So we go backstage. A smiling Gunther is walking around backstage. We'll hear from him next. So we go to commercial break. Video package Triple H contributes to Degeneration X. Paul Triple H with headline the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2025. So we go to this segment. World Heavyweight Champion Gunther addresses his bloody beating of Jimmy Uso. This was a good segment. Good segment. World Heavyweight Champion, the Ring General Gunther makes his way to the ring smiling. He is wearing a red tie in honor of the bloody beating he delivers to Jimmy Uso in front of his brother. Gunther WrestleMania opponent main event Jey Uso. Gunther stands on the commentary table and presses the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther gets in the ring and prepares to speak, but he's interrupted by Jey Uso's music. If I was Jey Uso, I would have walked in the ring and just crashed out right there. I would have punched Gunther right in his face for what he did to Jimmy Uso. And keep this same energy. For those of you guys are still hating on my boy Jey Uso, keep that same energy. When Jey Uso takes the World Heavyweight Championship, off of Gunther at WrestleMania 41, keep that same energy. Because Jey Uso is going to win at WrestleMania 41. Watch I tell you. And I called it straight down the middle. But anyway, let me continue. I just had to put this out there. Main event Jey Uso main event Jey Uso comes out and he's not in a celebration mood. Jey Uso does not yeet as he heads to the ring dressed in black. Gunther removes his jacket and starts to roll up his sleeves. Gunther smiles and mocks Jey Uso. Jey Uso psychotically makes his way to the ring and never yeet once. Jey Uso gets in the ring and rips the microphone out of Gunther's hand. Jey Uso appears to be tearing up. Gunther is laughing at him. Jey Uso removes his glasses and stares deep into Gunther's eyes. The crowd is buzzing and anticipation and anticipation. Jey Uso lifts the microphone and calmly asks Gunther, "You have a mother?" Gunther looks confused. Jey Uso asks if Gunther talks to his mother. Gunther says he does. What do they talk about? Does she ask about their wife and grandson? What does he eat? That regular family stuff. Jey Uso says he has a mother too. Does Gunther want to know what they talk about this week? Jey Uso had to tell her that her oldest son was laid up in a hospital bed. Her oldest son got 15 stitches across his forehead. She asked him, "Why didn't you protect him?" Joshua, Jey Uso says he never lied to his mother. He told her he was afraid of Gunther. Gunther had to drop on him, was 3 steps ahead of him. It wasn't enough. Gunther got his family involved. Gunther knows how he feels about his family, especially Jimmy Uso. Jey Uso is pacing in the ring. Jey Uso violated his brother and left him a bloody plump. Jimmy Uso's blood was all over Gunther's body. Jimmy Uso's bloody is on Jey Uso's hands too. Jey Uso never left more helpless. Helpless, pissed off. Hey, you know what? Near scared. Gunther made the whole world stop by violating his twin in front of him. It made Jey Uso's heart stop. The crazy thing is that in his darkness moment in time in front of the world, a light bulb went off. Jey Uso realized he's not afraid of Gunther anymore. The crowd loudly cheers. The crowd chant yeets. Gunther looks down and then at Jey Uso. Jey Uso says that before WrestleMania 41, Gunther can hug and kiss his family before WrestleMania 41. Jey Uso will lay his hands down and says a prayer. I pray for Gunther, but more for you, but more so for yourself. He asked the Lord to forgive him for the man he's about to become at WrestleMania 41. He'll get Gunther for himself, Jimmy Uso and his whole family. Jey Uso will take the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey Uso throws the microphone at Gunther. Gunther looks worried. That was a very good promo by Jey Uso. That was the best part throughout the entire show was Jey Uso's promo and Gunther's promo. And I said this once, and I'm going to say this again. When Jey Uso takes the World Heavyweight Championship off of Gunther at WrestleMania 41, keep that doggone same energy. For those of you people are still hating on my boy Jey Uso, keep that same energy. When Jey Uso finally beat Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, he's going to win at WrestleMania 41, and the crowd is going to yeet all over the place. I'm riding with my boy Jey Uso. I do not like Gunther as World Heavyweight Champion. But I do like Gunther as Intercontinental Champion. Now that's way better than a World Heavyweight Champion. That's facts. So my boy Jey Uso is going to take the World Heavyweight Championship off of Gunther at WrestleMania 41, and that's nothing but facts by itself. So I pick my boy Jey Uso. Yeet. That's all I gotta say. But good segment between Jey Uso and Gunther. A strong promo from Jey Uso against Gunther. They turned this around with a really fantastic angle last week. I I wonder if they'll pull the trigger on Jey Uso. I don't see how they can't unless they have a phenomenal angle to explain it. Hashtag WWE Raw. SmackDown recap. Last Friday on SmackDown, CM Punk revealed the favor he wants from Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman will be in CM Punk's corner for a triple threat match against Roman Reigns and Seth freaking Rollins. Roman Reigns will not have his wise man on his side. The New Day makes their entrance. They'll battle for the World Tag Team Championship next. So we go to commercial break. Video package. Rhea Ripley will appear on Stephanie's place, hosted by Stephanie McMahon. Raw General Manager's office, Adam Pearce. Natalia and Maxine Dupree are talking with Raw General Manager Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce tells them to jump into the deep end. Rey Mysterio walks in and says he wants to face the idiot who mocks everything he stands for. Rey Mysterio wants to expose him for the fraud El Grande Americano really is. Rey Mysterio wants to pick the place WrestleMania 41. Adam Pearce makes the match official. All right, Tony Hinchcliffe, the host of the roast of WrestleMania 41, will be commentary for this match. So we get the World Tag Team Championship match: The New Day, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods versus the World Raiders, Eric and Ivar. And this tag team match right here, that was a that was a awful finish. Decent match, but an awful finish. Alright, Kofi Kingston will start against Ivar. Ivar quickly takes Kofi Kingston down. Kofi Kingston quickly retreats from the ring. Kofi Kingston regroups and tags in Xavier Woods. Eric also tags in. Kofi Kingston distracts Eric and Xavier Woods attacks him from behind. The New Day does the unicorn stomp, but they don't want it called that anymore. Eric fights back with a double clothesline. Ivar tags in and hits Kofi Kingston with a sidewalk slam, followed by a basement crossbody block. Eric tags back in and sends Kofi Kingston to the corner, but he slingshots over him. Eric grabs Kofi Kingston and slams him. Xavier Woods runs and meets the same result. Ivar tags in. Kofi Kingston is slammed again, and Eric slams Ivar onto Kofi Kingston. Eric then sends Xavier Woods over the top rope. Xavier Woods attacks Eric as he approaches him and grabs a steel chair. Eric rocks Xavier Woods with a forearm smash. Ivar sends Kofi Kingston into the barricade on the other side of the ring side area. Ivar charged, and Eric uses momentum to send him harder into Xavier Woods against the barricade. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, Ivar flattens Xavier Woods with a seated senton. Eric and Kofi Kingston tag in, and Eric runs wild on him. Eric hits Xavier Woods with a gunwrench rib breaker and a knee to the face. Eric then slams Kofi Kingston down. Ivar tags in and crushes Xavier Woods. They take Kofi Kingston out with a War Machine 1-2. Xavier Woods breaks it up. Xavier was his Xavier was is sent out of the ring. Xavier was grabs a steel chair, but Ivar rips it out of rips it out of his hands and hits him in the ribs with the chair. The referee sees it and calls for the bell. The winner by disqualification, the New Day. The World Raiders retain the World Tag Team Champions. Decent match, decent tag team match, but the ending which is awful. That's all I gotta say. Kofi Kingston marks Ivar with a chair shot to the back of the neck. Eric angrily attacks Kofi Kingston, but Xavier helps to overcome him. Kofi Kingston raises the chair in the corner. They dive Eric headfirst into the chair. The New Day sends Ivar into the timekeeper's area before getting in the ring. Concerned concentrated on Eric. Xerios grabs Eric by the beard and places his head into the chair. Eric fought. Eric fought tough. A terrible neck injury to the back to act to the back to action. The WWE officials and referees went down to prevent Xerios from doing anything crazy. Awful finish to the World Tag Team Championship match. I guess they do it again at WrestleMania 41 or sometime like that, but nothing about this made me want to see it again. Also, Tony Hinch, Hinchcliffe commentary convinced me to skip the WrestleMania roast. Alright, WWE, hashtag WWE Raw. Video package, a video hypes for the undisputed WWE champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes plays. The song The Last of My Kind plays. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes will defend the undisputed WWE champion against John Cena at WrestleMania 41. Now, people saying that Cody Rhodes is going to retain, but I think that John Cena is going to get 17. They might as well give John Cena 17. I like Cody Rhodes, don't get me wrong, but I got this feeling that John Cena is going to take the title off of Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. But they got to give John Cena 17. That's all I gotta say. Penta makes his entrance. He'll face Dominic Mysterio next. Commercial break. Adi Shankar, the creator of Devil May Cry on Netflix, is at ringside. Taylor and Daniel of Love is Blind are also at ringside. Finally, Brett Crusher is at ringside, downing a beer and shoving it off his physical, whatever that is. Hope I'm saying it right. Physical. Alright, let me move on. Next match, Penta versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio coming by Carlito. And this match right here, did yeah, this match was okay for what it was. The bell rings and they lock up. The crowd chants, "Dom, you suck." Mysterio gets in the corner and shoves Penta back. Penta grabs a waistline. They do some standing switches before trading chops. Dominic Mysterio takes Penta down and punches away at him before stomping him. Dominic Mysterio sends him to the corner and hits a corner clothesline. Dominic Mysterio covers his ears to avoid the crowd jeers. Dominic Mysterio punches Penta down and backs him in the corner. Dominic Mysterio hits a shoulder thrust and taunts the crowd. Dominic Mysterio sends him into the ropes, but Penta ducks a clothesline and hits a hurricane. Penta follows up with a Tilt World Backbreaker and a reverse sling blade. Dominic Mysterio rolls out of the ring, and Carlito checks on him. Penta wipes them both out with a dive off the top rope to the floor. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, Dominic Mysterio kicks Penta as he attempts a diving attack and hits the three amigos. Dominic Mysterio covers Penta for a 2 count. Penta soon hits the ropes, but Dominic Mysterio drop kicks him in the knees. Dominic Mysterio is set up for a 619, but Penta super kicks him down. Penta kicks Dominic Mysterio down and hits a handstand slingshot corner dropkick for a 2 count. Dominic Mysterio gets cut out of Penta's driver and whips on a super kick. Dominic Mysterio hits the ropes and hits Penta with a Mexican destroyer. Dominic Mysterio knocks him into the ropes and hits a 619. Dominic Mysterio quickly goes to the top rope for a false splash, but Penta gets the knees up and rolls him up. 1-2. Dominic Mysterio kicks out after talking a few moments to recover. Dominic Mysterio lifts Penta. Penta elbows out and takes Dominic Mysterio down. Penta snaps the arm with a sacrifice Penta, followed by sacrifice. Penta follows up with a Penta driver for the win. The winner by pinfall. Penta. This was okay match. What it was. Carlito quickly attacks Penta from behind. Carlito draws him with a backstabber. Carlito and Dominic Mysterio begin to double team Penta until the WWE Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker comes out to the stage. Carlito goes to meet him on the outside, but Braun Breaker splits him into within the same spirit on the floor. Braun Breaker gets in the ring and crushes Dominic Mysterio with a spear. Braun Breaker is fired up. Braun Breaker goes to the corner and tries to hit Penta with a spear, but Braun Breaker goes to pose with the Intercontinental Championship. But Finn Balor attacks him from behind and hits a falling elbow. Hits an elbow drop. Finn Balor is up top, and the Continental Champion taunts Penta before holding it up. Finn Balor turns and sees Braun Breaker charge, so he retreats from the ring. Alright. They may be one of the most insane spears by Braun Breaker as Braun Breaker has hit yet. That was a beautiful spear on Carlito at ringside. This guy has major superstar written all over him. Anyway, I'm hope Dirty Dominic wins at WrestleMania 41. Such a great hand. Who such a great hand. Hashtag WWE Raw. I don't think Dominic Mysterio is going to win at WrestleMania. Alright, so you're gonna have Braun Breaker to retain. That's all I gotta say. He's gonna retain the Intercontinental Championship, watch I tell you. Alright. We see a drone shot of Golden One Center in Sacramento, California, the site of the final Raw before WrestleMania 41. So next week on Raw, AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross. I hope that AJ Styles will go over Karrion Kross. The OTC Roman Reigns will appear. Roman Reigns will participate in his 11th WrestleMania main event, the most of all time. Alright. Backstage segment. Paul Heyman is showing backstage. We'll hear from him next. Alright, so we go to commercial break. Paul Heyman addresses being in CM Punk's corner at WrestleMania 41. This was a good segment. Paul Heyman is in the ring. Paul Heyman says, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. I want to state a couple of things for the record so we can just get it out of the way and we can move on to WrestleMania 41. The first item is that he will always be loyal to his tribal chief, Roman Reigns. The second item is that he will always be loyal to his best friend, the best in the world, CM Punk. Just because he is loyal to both of them does not mean he will never in his life be destroyed. They're disloyal to either of them. Alright. When it comes to WrestleMania 41, Paul Heyman wants to get one thing perfectly clear. Before we find out what Paul Heyman wants to make clear, burn it down, Seth Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins makes his entrance. Paul Heyman looks disgusted to see Seth Rollins out there. Seth Rollins looks into Paul Heyman's face before getting in Minneapolis and welcoming them to Monday Night Rollins. In case they don't know, he's a visionary and revolutionary. He, he is Seth freaking Rollins. Tonight is not about Seth freaking Rollins. It's about Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is out here to talk about loyalty, which is the reason Seth Rollins wants to say hi to him. Seth Rollins asks Paul Heyman, "Whose side are you on? Will he be the best friend to CM Punk?" Paul Heyman rolls his eyes. A CM Punk chance picks up. Seth Rollins then asks if he will be the wise man to Roman Reigns. NOTC chant picks up as the crowd puts the ones in the air. Seth Rollins says Paul Heyman is trying to convince everyone and himself that he can do both at the same time. It's occurred to Seth Rollins over the past week that Paul Heyman is neither. Seth Rollins knows Paul Heyman will give him the scripture about how Roman Reigns did so much, but Roman Reigns doesn't give a you know what about Paul Heyman, and Roman Reigns likes Paul Heyman to shine his shoes, book his private jet, order his steak, and hands him his Eula follow. Roman Reigns doesn't represent Paul Heyman. Seth Rollins takes Paul Heyman back to the main event of last year's WrestleMania, when he lost the title thanks to some well-dressed visionary. Roman Reigns disappointed into disappeared into either and left Paul Heyman in the hands of his loving family with Solo Sequoia. Did they treat him well? Were were they loving? They treated Paul Heyman like he was the scum of the earth. Everyone wondered what when Roman Reigns would have Paul Heyman. I'm sorry, Roman Reigns would save Paul Heyman. Seth Rollins asked if Roman Reigns rescued Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman shake his head. Seth Rollins says Roman Reigns left Paul Heyman to be massacred in his hometown in front of his children. Jacob and Osla had to watch their father be put through a table because Roman Reigns doesn't care about him. So Jacob and Osla. So I don't know why I call it Jacob Part 2, but Jacob and Osla. I'm glad that I cracked myself on that. CM Punk also wants there wants there to rescue him. Best friends love each other and are there for each other. They don't use each other. They don't use each other when it's convinced. 10 years ago, CM Punk walk out of here to everyone and Paul Heyman. Did did he talk? Did he talk? I'm sorry. Did he take Paul Heyman with him? No. He tried to tear him down. Everything Paul Heyman was building here. Did Seth Rollins come back and embrace Paul Heyman? No. CM Punk and Paul Heyman loved the remix about War Games, but CM Punk was the first choice to be Team Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins was. Um, Seth Rollins was. Paul Heyman acknowledges that Seth Rollins tells him to stop him when he's telling lies. Seth Rollins declines. CM Punk wasn't the first choice. He was the last and only choice. Did he join Team Roman Reigns out of the goodness of his heart? Because he loves his best friend? Paul Heyman. No. CM Punk knew he could use it to get a favor out of Paul Heyman. Seth Rollins says CM Punk is not here. CM Punk is not Paul Heyman's best friend. CM Punk doesn't love him. CM Punk doesn't love anyone but himself. Seth Rollins will be honest with everyone. He feels bad for Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman has tears in his eyes. Paul Heyman is in an unavailable position. The easiest solution will be for him to remove himself entirely from the situation. Let Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk battle it out at WrestleMania 41 for the soul of this industry. Paul Heyman shakes his hand. Joel shakes his head. Um, what was it? He says, Roman Reigns, CM Punk will bow out at WrestleMania 41 for the soul of this industry. Paul Heyman shakes his head. Paul Heyman shakes his head. Seth Rollins understands he won't betray his best friend, the tribal chief. If only there were a way to remove him from the situation. Paul Heyman realizes what is going on. Seth Rollins says he would take it as a privilege to remove him from the situation right here and now. It will be quick. It will be quick and easy a boot to the back of the head, one one quick stomp, and it's all over. No one is here to save him. Roman Reigns isn't here to save him. CM Punk isn't here to make friends. He's here to make money. Paul Heyman sneers at, at Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins asks how much money Paul Heyman is worth it. He is worth this much. Seth Rollins lightly slaps Paul Heyman in the face. Seth Rollins continues to shove him, so Paul Heyman grabs his arm. Paul Heyman shouts, don't you put your you know what put your don't you put your hands on him again. Alright, Paul Heyman is alright. So Seth Rollins shoves him in a corner. CM Punk music hits and they sec in the second seed Saint runs down to save Paul Heyman. CM Punk punches away at Seth Rollins. The fight spills at ringside. CM Punk sends Seth Rollins over the commentary table. They knock over the prime energy station before CM Punk sends Seth Rollins into the steel steps. CM Punk punches Seth Rollins in the head and press his head on the bottom half of the steel steps. CM Punk backs him up, which charge for stomping on the steps, but Seth Rollins avoids it and gets in the ring. Seth Rollins hits CM Punk with a stomp as he gets in the ring. Paul Heyman Paul Heyman checks on CM Punk. Seth Rollins signs him. I'm sorry, he get it says Seth Rollins signs Paul Heyman up and charges Seth Rollins stomp to the to the mat near Paul Heyman's head. Paul Heyman is stunned that Seth Rollins didn't deliver a curl stomp to him. Seth Rollins says, "You owe me a favor." A good segment to close the show. It felt like they were laying the good work for Paul Heyman do eventually join forces with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins carried this whole segment and did some of the best promo work of his career. This is a great angle, Paul Heyman on Seth Rollins. This that segment was a good segment to close Raw. The pen, the penum, the plutamate. Hold on, I'm saying it right. The pen ultimate hashtag WWE Raw before hashtag WrestleMania 41 was a very good one. Some very good build for the show with a fantastic main event segment. I'm beyond excited to see what they do with this match. And hashtag WWE Raw goes up the air. Let me give my hold on. Let me give my honest opinion what I think about WWE Raw. WWE Raw was a boring show. But the two parts I like about WWE Raw was Jey Uso and Gunther segment and the Paul Heyman segment with and CM Punk and Seth Rollins brawling. That was a good segment to close the show. So WWE Raw was a boring show, and that's all I have to say. Now, if you guys enjoy my WWE Raw review and highlights, make sure you guys please watch the video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content on the channel like this, because I'm on the road to 9K and a path to YouTube partner. And follow my social media down below in the description. And go check out my AEW Dynasty review on how I post on the channel. And I'm going to make a 3-minute YouTube short video of me showing you guys my thumbnail twice in that video. But help me get to 1,000 views if I show you guys my thumbnail twice in that 3-minute YouTube short video. And tomorrow I will go live for some WWE NXT watch along live reactions and more. So I will be going live. I'm going to go live on YouTube for a watch along for WWE NXT watch along live reactions and more. That's going to be tomorrow. I'm going to start my live stream around like at least it's either 5 or 6 or 6:30. So I'm going to set my live stream tomorrow. So that's what I'm going to do. But anyway, I want you guys to have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. too sweet, gang. And I will see you guys. And I will see you guys tonight for my upcoming world premiere for my WWE Raw will be on highlights at 4 o'clock a.m. Alright, on YouTube. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive and stay too sweet. And I'm out of here, gang. And shout outs to the Destin, Destin for reaching her monetization. I'm so proud of you. And shout outs to Steph92 for posting that new video. I just got done watching Steph92's video, and I left her a nice comment, and that's all I gotta say. But anyway, if you guys see my community post, make sure to comment right away. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay too sweet. And I'm out of here, gang.